Welcome back to another Solidworks tutorial. For project assignment 13, we'll be creating this shaft support assembly. You can see there's a bracket right here, a bearing block, some screws, and this bronze component up here. If we scroll down, we can see the drawing for the collar, and next the drawing for the bearing block. I sketched on here some arrows. This thickness is missing, so you'll just have to guess it. It kind of looks like it would be about half an inch or so, so we'll just roll with that. And then the base plate itself and the cap screw. And as you could see in the assembly drawing, we're going to be assembling all the components together. We'll be creating a drawing of the assembled components and then a bill of material right here, listing out all your individual components, and you'll have balloons showing everything. So all in all, there will be 4 parts, 1 assembly, and 5 drawings for this assignment. I will be breaking it apart into multiple videos to help along the instructions of how to do this. It's going to be a lot of effort. There's some stuff that hasn't been covered so far, such as the assembly and the drawing of the assembly, the bill of materials, and mating all the parts. So we'll start with the collar drawing, and then in the next part we'll do the bearing drawing. So I'll go ahead and start with the first part, which is the collar. Let's right plane, normal 2, and revolved. We'll use, actually I need a center line. Let's see, try to sketch this out. Let's see, overall width is like 1 1/4. See, let's make sure this is in inches before I do it. Yes, units are in inches, so this is 1 1/4, and this one is 1. Let's see if there's a diameter given. The outside diameter is 2.5. See, okay, so let's just do that real quick. 2.5. There's this step right here, which is 2. And finally, our ID, which is 1.5. We can skip the chamfer right now, and we'll just revolve this feature like so. Just hit the check, and then now you've got your part. And then now we can add a chamfer in here. For the chamfer on this side, I selected the edge first here, and then I clicked the little drop down and hit chamfer. And initially you'll get some crazy looking chamfer, but what you want to do is set the distance, the size, essentially of the chamfer. I just set equal to 1/16. It automatically finds what 1/16 is, and you set the angle to be 45 degrees, and so it turns out to be looking like that. So you just hit the check, and there's your chamfer. And likewise on the other side, did the same thing, select the edge first and then hit chamfer. It's also going to be 1/16 and a 45-degree angle. So there's your chamfer. And that should be it for your collar component. So we'll call this PJ13 collar. We'll create a drawing from this using your template. Okay. And what are our views? We've got a front view and a cutaway. So we just bring in the front, and we could show an isometric. It won't hurt. We'll come in and drawing section view. Snap to that. Hit the check. Here's your section view, and just kind of bring that out of the way. And make sure all your fonts are something reasonable. So let's just pick 12-point font. Same thing for here. 12-point font. There it goes. Okay, so and then we'll be showing our dimensions next. So we got that one was an inch. We'll show that was an 1.25 inches. We got a diameter right here. There's one on the inside over here, and one right there. Oh, so chamfer dimension. Come on. Okay, so if you use chamfer dimension instead of smart dimension, you go down and find chamfer dimension. You can actually click on the chamfer itself, and it'll give you a size and a decimal times the angle, and you can do that again over here. There we go. And then you just hit the check. So we've got our part here. Here's the isometric drawing. Let's get out of that. The isometric. Here's the cutaway view with all the dimensions and your chamfers listed out. None of this stuff populated because we're actually missing it from the part. So we'll go back to the part, and we can put everything in. Material, weight, drawn by, drawn date. And let's see. Units of measure. And is there a description? Yep, oh, that's at the very top. And then scale should pull from the custom summary information on the drawing itself. But all these should be, there's material, there's mass, and I just realized I wasn't showing this, so here's what I was talking about. So material, weight, drawn by is not something you can grab from the part itself, so you just put in your name, and then the date. Units of measure is IPS, and we'll use that as the description. Hit OK, make sure you're saving along the way. Go back to your drawing, and most of this should have filled in. Let's see, we're missing author and we're missing material. Material, yeah, we should have done it. So edit material, and this should be this carbon steel. Oh, this was tin bronze. So let's go and find tin bearing bronze, and when you find it, hit apply and hit close. Changes colors. Just make sure to save that. Go back to your drawing, make sure it's populated the material. And finally, we need to address author and scale. So edit sheet format, and let's see what's going on here. Author. So for some strange reason, it's not pulling that. So go to drawn by. Model found here, drawn by, hit OK. Scale should be current document, properties, where's scale? Sheet scale. Hit that, and hit the check. We'll check out of that. Let's verify our sheet scale is 1:1. Okay, so that's all we need to have. And just need to make sure that this says 1.04 pounds. And that's it for the drawing for the collar. And the next step will be to create the bearing drawing. And that's the end of part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. Thanks for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe for more content.